time, stranger. And the feet.
Good thing I did that reeling in the ice flow stunt before. It was in a Robert Redford picture, but neither of you is as pretty as he is.
Beauty isn't our strong suit, but fighting Cobra is. And you're our kind of snake stomper.
Right.
Will you stop jabbering so that I can sneak a word in?
Warning, Hebrews Toys Reviews is not intended for children. It is for adult collectors and the people over the age of 18.
Hello everybody, Hebrews77 here for Hebrews Toys Reviews, and today we will be reviewing Super 7 Reaction Bazooka Artic. Now I would have thought they would have named this figure Artic Bazooka, but instead he's been called Bazooka Artic. We'll be reviewing this figure and talking about other releases from Super 7 as well, here today on Hebrews Toy Reviews. So here we have Super 7 released a Artic version of Bazooka, and I do have the regular version of Bazooka, but this one is so cool that I wish I would have had this guy when I did my G.I. Joe Pyramid of Darkness stop motion movie, which can be checked out on my other channel, and maybe I'll post it someday on this channel as well. So Super 7 has come out with a series of G.I. Joes, from regular G.I. Joes to G.I. Joes in various costumes and outfits, and I've got to say they've done a super job on these. Now I have talked about this with the Cobra Commander review that I did, but these figures, all of the ones that I'm collecting now, unless I get 2 or more of them, will remain in the packages. And you know, the unfortunate thing is once you open these and you sort of even display them or mess around with them, their joints become very loose. Much like the Kenner Star Wars figures, there really is no way of repairing these guys. I mean, if something becomes super loose, you really can't do anything about it. Now, if an arm or leg is to fall off, of course you could super glue it back on, but then it's unmovable. So even though it does make a good display piece, it doesn't do good for replay, or as this says, reaction. Now I do like the way they did the card backs, the retro style, and this is an Artic version of Bazooka. This is the only version of Bazooka that I've ever seen where he didn't have the number 10 football jersey. And what would have been kind of cool is if you could see a little bit of red coming up through his coat there, where you could kind of see the jersey. But I guess in the cartoon he was completely covered up, much like he is here, the way he was in Pyramid of Darkness. Now, as I mentioned in the Cobra Commander review, if you check out the back, you have other G.I. Joes that are coming, and some of these I may or may not get, but here's one of the other G.I. Joes, or Cobra rather, the Game Master drone, which is basically a Cobra snow surfing, which was repainted to look like one of the clown toy drones that the Game Master uses in the episode entitled The Game Master. So you can see all of these G.I. Joes that have already come out, and here with this one you can see some coming soon inserts there, which you would normally see back in the day on an old G.I. Joe package back in the 80s, which is really neat how they did that. However, when you saw it on the back of an old card back, they would have the figure there, but he would be faded out and all you would see is the shadow. Whereas to this just has the explosion background and the coming soon on the back. One of the figures I would be interested in getting multiples of would be the sailor figure here, which is basically a shaved down version of Shipwreck. Of course, without the insignia rank, which Shipwreck is Chief Petty Officer. That would be really neat to have. And then, of course, you have this character here, Gwen, which is in the comic books for the most part. I think he might have... Did he make an appearance in the cartoon? I don't know. I'd have to Google that. But, of course, you have Snake Eyes that's been out for a while, and Duke, and, of course, we did a review on Cobra Commander, and it doesn't show Flint here, but I do have the Flint figure, which will be the next and last review for a while of this series. Now we take a look at the file card, and as you can see, they're doing it in a cartoon style, and this was clipped from the cartoon Pyramid of Darkness, in which he wore this outfit. But the file card itself has not really changed much from his original file card. With that being said, let's read the file card. It says at the top of the file card, Bazooka Artic, which I still really think it should have been Arctic Bazooka, but whatever. So Bazooka Artic, Missile Specialist. File name, hold on. Really hard to see on the camera, but file name, Katzenbogen David L. Primary military specialty, armored defeating weapon systems. Secondary military specialty, Tiger Shark Driver. Interesting. That's, when he was on the Tiger Force, I'm sure. Birthplace, Hibbing, Minnesota, grade E5. Alright, so now that out of the way, let's read his bio. Bazooka was driving an Abrams tank in the 3rd Horde, 3rd Armored Division, when he came to the realization that an illiterate farmer armed with a $200 disposable rocket launcher could knock out a $1 million tank with less than 2 weeks training. With that in mind, he put in for an immediate transfer to the Tiger Force. Since that time, Bazooka has become a true specialist in the use of tactical assault missiles. Now he can fire a surface-to-surface missile at a T-52 tank positioned over 2 miles away and blow off its gun barrel cleaner than a knife through butter. And here's the personal quote here at the bottom. Bazooka can tell you everything you need to know about missile attack systems, and then some. He'd talk your ear off if he wasn't always on the missile range target shooting. He never lets his missile launcher out of his sight, even when he goes for a joyride in the Tiger Shark through cobra-infested waters. He really lives by the words, be prepared for anything. Now, a little tidbit about Bazooka and about infantrymen in general. The infantry Bazooka man doesn't really exist anymore. You don't really have a bazooka specialist. The Bazooka Specialist disappeared years ago, I believe, shortly after the Vietnam War. They don't really use them anymore. Although I do think bazookas are one of the weapons that are still active. Your Bazooka Specialist doesn't really exist anymore. It is, I think there's a different system now, since there are surface-to-surface actual launchers, and the personal bazooka missile launchers are no longer in service, or something like that. You can Google it, look it up, whatever. But these men are some of my favorite G.I. Joes. You know, in the original 1982 G.I. Joe series, I believe the first 12 G.I. Joes, you had a Bazooka Specialist in that. Before Bazooka came along, it was Zap. I'm sorry, the first 13. I said first 12. I meant first 13. Zap was the Bazooka Specialist. And then I believe in 86 or 87 was when the second line came along. And when the second line came along, Bazooka replaced Zap. Now, the original Bazooka, of course, came with a bazooka which wasn't quite as detailed as this bazooka is. And he came with the backpack which had the rockets in it. And that seems to be the case here, with very little difference. And I just think that this is a really cool figure. Now, is it a top-of-the-line figure? Well, that is for you to decide, really. I think it's a really cool figure. I'm not going to truly know anything unless I get an extra one of him and take him out of the package. But that pretty much does it for this review. Please check out my other G.I. Joe reviews. And like I said, I will have a review ready for you either Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, Bazooka, Artic Bazooka is definitely one to add to your Super 7 G.I. Joe collection. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say about this figure. But I do have a couple more figures that I will be reviewing for this week. And today is Saturday, so my next review probably will be on Monday or Tuesday. So be looking forward to that. But until next time, just remember, knowing isn't just half the battle, it's the whole damn war. See you then.
Craft within a mile of here, right, Bazooka?
Wrong. Closer.
Like the fella says, and away we go.
Pork chop sandwiches.